Stairway to Space, a Europlanet Early Career Network podcast.
Hello everyone, welcome to the second episode of the podcast Stairway to Space, a podcast made by the Europlanet Early Career Network. We are counting the days for the Europlanet Science Congress, which will be held this year in Granada at the Palacio de Congresos from 18 to 23 of September. This will be the first in-person congress for Europlanet after 3 years, as the previous two had to be held online due to the ongoing pandemic. The Europlanet Early Career Network will also be there, and we are excited about the opportunity to meet again, to come in session in person again, to invite a very dynamic part of our community, the early career people, to join our network and participate in our activities in person. I am Karakostas, and I have with me today Noah Jäggi, currently in his last year of PhD at the University of Bern in Switzerland and chair of the EPEC at EPSC Working Group. Noah is here to present and discuss our network's activities at the imminent Europlanet Science Congress. Hello Noah, and welcome to Stairway to Space.
Hey Phoebus, it's a pleasure to be here.
Before starting the presentation of all the activities, please tell me, how does it feel that Europlanet and consequently the EPEC network will meet again in person?
I can't wait. The past 2 years were quite tough. Meeting in person again is the payoff we've been working towards for the last half year, and it really kept us going through the last 2 virtual events. So it's going to be great.
It was indeed a hard way to go during these years. Good thing that now we can see the future with more optimism, also in our professional life. So now let's go into specifics concerning the EPEC activity at the Congress. Where can someone find the EPEC people? How can the early career participants meet our network?
First and foremost, we'll have a big booth in Granada. Like the whole week, there will be early careers. And there you can talk to the active members of EPEC and inform yourself on all the things that we do. Our working group, the EPEC at EPSC Working Group, is actually just one of many of different groups that do a lot of different things. So just come by and learn more about our network and all the things we do.
For our listeners who plan to be or already are at the EPSC venue, the EPEC booth is located on the first floor, called Level 1. The EPEC General Assembly will take place on Monday afternoon at 2:15 in room Andalusia 3, located also on Level 1 of the Congress venue.
Yeah, exactly. And all the other early career events that are at the venue will take place in the same room, so you don't have to search for the room every time, which is quite convenient. And if you don't know what's up, we'll see you at the booth, and make sure you join the General Assembly on Monday to learn everything about EPEC.
The EPEC booth will be active during the whole week at the Congress venue. So what are, let's say, the activities that are hosted there? Is it an information desk, or we should think of it also as a meeting point?
Well, the answer to this is yes. It will be like in 2019. Like, it's a place where you will be informed on the latest events as well. It's going to be the place where everybody will be meeting up in the break times to find like future friends and past friends. And we even got 2 comfy chairs to chill, so I assume it will be quite busy at all times.
Then going with the schedule, the first EPEC event is the General Assembly. What are, in general terms, the topics that are going to be discussed, and why would it be useful for the early careers members of the EPEC, or not yet, to join this discussion?
Well, first of all, the General Assembly of EPEC focuses on informing on the current structure of EPEC. And as an early career group, we experience quite a lot of changes when it comes to volunteers. And the General Assembly is like ideal to get new projects going and to replace like more senior early careers that are either like they already progressed past being early in their career, or this is true for me, like they need to take a step back as they expect to have like a greater change in their career. So be there, meet us, tell us what you want, and then join us if you want, because joining is actually the best way to get things done. And we keep repeating that you don't have to have any proficiency in anything to get started. We all began without having a clue, and we learned a lot and on the way, and we had overwhelming support from previous volunteers as well as Europlanet. So it's a great experience.
Other than the General Assembly, if our listeners check the EPSC program online, they will find a series of events organized by EPEC. There is one event every day. Noah, would you tell us how the EPEC week at EPSC is organized?
Yeah, gladly. We have a total of 5 events apart from the General Assembly that would separate into events for becoming a better scientist and events for becoming a happier scientist. And the first event is actually a joint event with the early careers from AppGrad-E. It's the AppGrad-EPEC joint event on Sunday. And here AppGrad-E had the lead on organizing like a mini conference where we give early careers the opportunity to present their work. And we thereby only allowed abstracts that are not already eligible for a talk during EPSC. And the event will take place on Sunday from 10 until 4 o'clock. It's too late to hand in an abstract, but it's never too late to join the event. So it will also be in room Andalusia 3 at the venue, as all the other events. The second event is during the Tuesday lunch break, and it's a workshop with João Retre from Portugal, who will show us some tips and tricks about science communication. And apart from being highly valuable to get your audience engaged, the workshop will also be a lot of fun. This is because there will be some hands-on exercises that you don't want to miss. And the people who joined the annual week in Portugal in 2019, makes me seem old, might remember this from a different workshop with him. So it's going to be great. Then on Wednesday, 2:15, we have the annual Science Flash. There, early careers can demonstrate their presenting skills, but there's a catch. You only are allowed to use 3 images and the prop of your choice to explain a scientific concept in 3 minutes. And I can't wait to see what the contestants come up this year. After that, on Wednesday evening, we have the Early Career Social Event, which is not to be confused with the Europlanet Social Event. So check the program for more information on the venue. Come by and let us have a chat, a drink, and some tapas together. And should mention that there will be a first round of drinks and tapas offered to the ones that are there early. So be there or be square. Last, but definitely not least, there is a talk on mental health by Dr. Zoe Aries on Friday, beginning at 1:45, where she will give a talk on why we should care about mental health in academia, whilst highlighting some of the most key challenges that we face. And that's it. And there's actually no event on Thursday because there's already the Europlanet General Assembly as well as the agency night. So no time for even more EPEC events during that busy week.
I do agree that we need better scientists and we need happier scientists, not only in our community, but mostly in our society. However, other than the organized events, some people could argue that EPSC is the greatest event for our network. Many new colleagues find out about our activities and come in contact for the first time. The EPEC was launched actually during the Europlanet Science Congress in Riga in 2017. What is your experience as an EPEC member, Noah?
Well, there's a lot to talk about, but to keep it short, I would say that everybody that I've worked with in EPEC has shown me nothing but respect and appreciation for the work I do. And this also goes the other way. And it shows to me that the highly engaged members that we have really put their heart, sweat, and tears into the task they set themselves. Or in other words, like where there's a will, there's a way. And this is true for the full program of EPEC events that we dish out every year, as well as for this podcast that you're currently listening. And looking back, even after the 2 years of COVID, I would join EPEC again in a heartbeat. I've learned a lot, and I had the pleasure of working together with an amazing team. So I'm grateful. And I keep my fingers crossed that all of our events will work out at least like 80% according to plan.
I think that all these are very useful information for our listeners. In addition, there are a bunch of communication tools prepared to work on a permanent basis, but also explicitly for the EPSC days, where you can be informed about the EPEC activities and communication in real time. Noah, where can people find information about the ongoing activities?
Well, the easiest way to get a list of all the tools is by coming to the booth and scanning a dedicated QR code that we have there, which includes the link to the EPSC Slack workspace, where we also have like a virtual booth for early careers. And then there's the Twitter handle as well as the Facebook one, and a link to our permanent EPEC Slack workspace and a link to the website. where one can also sign up for the EPEC mailing list to stay informed. And about the EPEC Slack, well, this is really the best way to get in contact with all the early careers. So yeah, right now that seems like a lot of info, but I repeat, easiest way, come by the booth and you get all the information you want to have.
We should also say that at this point that on the last day of the conference, the EPEC will present the Planetary Science for All Video Contest Award. This award comes with free registration for EPSC 2023 or EPSC 2024, whereas the participants of the contest use a fair amount of creativity to present their science. So if you cherish a nice conclusion to your week in Granada, don't miss the ceremony. By the way, where and when will we meet in Granada, Noah? On Sunday, right?
Well, again, I can only say yes. If you can't make it to the Upgrade EPEC joint event, then there is the diversity keynote lecture followed by the EPSC Icebreaker event. And the Icebreaker is a great opportunity to meet people, and with people, I don't mean only early careers. So it would be great to see you there, and maybe we can then head out and get some tapas in Granada.
Thank you very much, Noah, for joining our podcast. The information that we've presented today may be a companion for our listeners during the EPSC week. Congratulations on the excellent work that you have done with the working group, and good luck with the hectic week that is upon us.
Thanks for having me, Phoebus, and I can't wait for the exciting week ahead. I would also like to express my gratitude to all the volunteers that made this EPEC at EPSC program possible. From my working group, that would be Jules, Ale, Julia, Sebastian, Ze, Christos, Desh, Ilaria, Indu. And from EPEC, the co-chairs Erika and Ines. From Upgrade, that would be Ruth, Hector, and Heike. And ultimately from EPEC Communications, Melissa, and you, Phoebus.
Thank you, Noah. Thank you all for joining us as listeners on this second episode of our podcast. We'll meet you again on the steps of our Stairway to Space, so stay tuned.